Turbo irons, which deliver maximum forgiveness, higher trajectory, and increased ball speed for more accurate and longer shots. And the Launcher UHX irons deliver the perfect blend of distance and accuracy. Let us help you get custom fit for free today at the Golf Mart, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Join Costa and Richards for Monday Night Football this Monday at Schooner Station Pizza and Sports Pub in Encinitas. They'll have tons of prizes, including $100 cash and a chance to win a trip to Vegas to watch the big game. Visit SchoonerStation.com for more.
A jackpot this big deserves a big reminder. Tonight's Powerball jackpot from the California Lottery is $150 million. $150 million. Play now. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Angie Williams was due any day. The bag was packed. The car gassed up. They planned to name the child after its birthplace. But because they didn't plan for their car's dead battery, her adorable 7-pound, 5-ounce girl is now named Minivan Williams. You never know what a cheap battery could cost you. When you need to be there, you need an Interstate, America's #1 replacement battery.
Visit Interstate All Battery Center in Miramar.
Looking to trade in your vehicle? Before you trade in with someone else, stop by Kearney Mesa Subaru or online at KearneyMesaSubaru.com. Not only do we have an amazing selection of new and used vehicles, but we want more. We want you to trade in your vehicle with us. We'll buy your vehicle even if you decide not to buy one of ours. And you could be surprised at how much your car is worth. Visit us today or online at KearneyMesaSubaru.com. That's KearneyMesaSubaru.com. Kearney Mesa Subaru. It just makes sense. Minutes from anywhere in San Diego.
Does your investment in your kids seem like it's going nowhere? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. You pour everything you've got, your time, emotions, energy, into raising your kids, but you aren't seeing any return on your investment. As your kids move into the teen years, you may even begin to see a dip in your parenting portfolio, but don't lose heart. Remember that parenting is a long-term investment, so don't look at the day-to-day returns, which will fluctuate, but take a long-term approach. You may not see the returns for many, many years, but if you consistently invest in your kids and parent them the right way, the rewards are much more likely to be there in the future. Listen to my new podcast on investing in your kids at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
For more resources on today's topic, go to markmerrill.com. The Family Minute with Mark Merrill, helping families love well.
The Loose Cannons with Steve, Rich, and John. Afternoons at 3, KLSD AM, KGB FM, HD2, San Diego.
And welcome on into the nation's longest running and highest rated radio show on the concept of sports investing. This is Sports Investors Weekly, sponsored, of course, by the good people over at freewinners.net. Visit them online, www.freewinners.net. I'm your host, Damon Roberts, and I'm joined, as always, in the studio by the one and only Mr. Paul Nolan. Paul Nolan, how are you?
Dude, I'm raring to go, man. I'm ready to roll.
Big day today, and joining us on the phone, as always, live from the city of Las Vegas, it's the one and only Mr. Jimmy Tagalemente. Jimmy Tags, how are you?
I'm great, man. I'm really happy with that NCAA ruling allowing now student athletes to become athletes, and with LeBron James chiming in, because we know what a genius he is. So, folks, all I can say is this. It's our college game of the year.
Jimmy, stealing my thunder.
College game of the year today.
Relax out there, please. Paul Nolan, Jimmy says it. I might as well just jump on it right there. College game of the year goes today. This is the day that, you get a lot of, unlike most people, let me just start by saying this. Unlike most people, Paul's game of the year is not like the local transit bus that comes into the corner. If you miss one, don't worry, there's like another one coming next week or next hour.
Right.
Game of the year actually means game of the year.
Well, you see guys out there, they're like, all right, it's our AFC non-divisional Thursday night game of the year. It's our $50,000 lock. It's not like that, guys. We just really specifically make sure that this is really IBR quality. This is one of those games that really can springboard you into the IBR if you're not an IBR guy. All you got to do is get involved, get some free picks, listen to the recorded message, and get started, Hold the line, ask some questions. Let us know what you're about. Let us know what you're looking for. Let us know, your goals. Because if you have a plan, and you kind of know what your short-term, medium-range, and long-term goals are, we can really design a program that fits you. And that's really the difference here. You know, our free picks hit over 64% so far this year. They've been lights out. And more importantly, the executive service is over 70%, and the IBR is in the upper 90 percentile. Nothing's 100%, nothing's perfect, but this is IBR quality. This is the kind of game that you guys could change the way you see this marketplace, man. It's mathematicians, it's coaches, it's sportsbook directors, it's every insider you can get your hands on, and we're really doing everything we can to peel all the layers of the onion back. So this way, you guys out there who are working, you're busting your butt, you're getting the kids to dance and soccer practice and football and all the sporting events, and you're commuting and you're fighting tooth and nail to make ends meet. And then there's the guy out there who's living the good life. There's the guy out there who's an entrepreneur, who has invested in his real estate, he's invested in himself, who wants to get to the next level. There's something for everybody here. And if you've never made a bet before, this is the weekend to say, hey, let me get started. Guys, teach me how to get started. Help me open an account. Let me get going, and we will get you into the marketplace that is just thoroughly dominant in terms of return on investment.
All right, let me get the number out. The game of the year. Florida 6.5-point home favorite. You're over under 46. 3:30 Eastern time game. So guys, make sure you call today. But that's not the only thing you're getting. 3 for free is on the recorded message today. Kansas State, Kansas, SMU, Memphis, and Oregon, USC. 888-366-3733. Jimmy Tags, let me bring you in here. Game of the year. What else can be said about this kind of Saturday? Big Saturday. We lay the table. 3 for free, and then game of the year at 3:30.
I just think it's almost coincidental that we just picked the games. They call it the largest cocktail party in the world. Okay, Florida and Georgia.
People started drinking last week for this one.
I mean, these guys, listen, the tailgating starts the night before for these two games. These two teams kind of hate each other over the years. You know, this is a big, big rivalry. A lot of these kids are interchangeable from both states. They go to both schools. So, folks, all I can tell you is this. You know, they only come along once a year. We're not going to say we got a game of the year college play, okay, 2 weeks from now, because this is it. Okay, this is it. You got to jump in now. Dive in right now. The water's nice and warm, man. And I'm telling you something right now, folks. If you want to do this the right way, Paul said, this is the closest thing to an
That's Tiger. John, just say something.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Okay, yo, we gotta pull your mic. Well, you know what? You're not gonna be on for the first segment, but let's set you up here. So get you comfortable.
Tell her about popping peas.
Well, she won't, because we got this.
Popping peas?
Yeah, when you like on the air, it does. It's like a. It's like when the mic is. You're supposed to have a nice soft sound, so sometimes people say people.
Should we have 2 guests next week?
So you want to get a little closer?
No.
And right like that.
Well, I was thinking the following week is the auction.
Okay.
And I was thinking that if we were going to have Stephanie from Marilyn Roses on.
Okay, we're 30 seconds.
If she was on next week, because they're one of the co-sponsors of the auction.
You want her on next week? I can schedule her for a second hour.
Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys.
Where are we going?
We're going to 8:06 exactly.
See if it works out for her.
And a very pleasant good morning. It is, 6 minutes after the hour. Welcome once again to Garden America. We are back, ready to go. Hope you had a good week and that your weekend's even better. What a way to start a Saturday morning. I'm Bryan Main along with Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. Never mind about the pretty lady sitting in the middle of John and Tiger for right now. We will get into that later on. But we're glad she's here.
For those of you listening, there's someone else in the studio.
Absolutely. So, yeah, just be advised of that. But, again, hope you had a good week, and we are back Facebook Live. Questions, comments. The best way to get to us with those questions, comments is on Facebook Live because it's an immediate response. We monitor it. Or you can email John at GardenAmerica.com because John doesn't get enough emails. In fact, this week he called me and said, nobody's emailing me.
Yeah.
So, John at GardenAmerica.com. Look at him. I wish I could get a close-up of you right now.
Boom.
You know how much that irritates me when you say that.
Well, see, we're like brothers, and we kind of stoke each other's fire now and then. But people love you, John, and so welcome to love.
I love them too. But anyone who is listening to this show
knows that I'm full of it.
No, knows that we did this the week before, unless they're on Facebook.
Well, some Facebook people maybe don't want to get on Facebook. But even if they're hearing the show pre-recorded and they have a question, they can still email you, and you'll get the email. You just answer it later on.
Yeah.
I've got this all worked out, Tiger. Don't worry about it.
Perfect.
I don't know.
I was concerned.
Okay, so what about
as I get older,
I
get more crotchety.
Yeah, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
You get off my lawn, guy.
Yeah.
I
wish I had a lawn.
Yeah. So you remember also when they used to put the water jugs in the middle of the lawn to try to keep dogs and cats off the lawn?
Oh, yeah, the big tea bottles,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, right.
Did that really work?
I don't think so.
No.
Because they would say, what I heard was that you would put those jugs in the middle of your lawn and animals would be scared of their own reflection or whatever, so they would stay off the lawn.
And they wouldn't urinate on your lawn, right?
Yeah, that was the whole purpose that I heard why they would use them, but that doesn't make any sense to me. I think it just gives them a spot to pee.
I don't see those anymore either.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I mean, you're talking 60s, 70s. I don't think people really knew quite what they were doing. I think they were, under the influence of the times.
Yeah.
That's how I like to.
They're in the moment.
But anyway, so we should, though, briefly tell people what we're going to be talking about today and why our guest is here.
Yeah, so we'll be talking with Naomi Wentworth with the Compost Company, and we'll be talking a bit about composting, but also about kind of a new, not really new because composting's been around for a long time, but a program that they've put together for local areas and how they can, decrease the amount of stuff going into landfills, be better for the environment, and also minimize just the excessive waste that we have all in all when it comes to food scraps and things like that.
Right, and waste can become other things that are beneficial.
Oh, definitely when you're talking about gardening,
absolutely.
Right?
So get with the program.
Yeah.
Milwaukee built a whole company out of that, right?
They certainly did. When I talk about that to people here at the radio station, and I get that ooh look, and I go, no, hold on, it's all treated, it's very good, and then they go, oh yeah, I bought a bag, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're willing to buy chicken and steer and horse manure, but not talk about it.
Right, and we're talking about Milorganite.
Milorganite, one of our big sponsors and a big supporter of our show,
and it would be much better to put it in your garden as a fertilizer than to drink it like San Diego's planning on doing. Don't you think?
What do you think, Tiger?
If they treat it, I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's just the psychological idea of it.
I think it's just flat out silly.
Yeah.
I mean, is it more expensive to put a plant that recycles sewage water into drinking water or to put up a desalinization plant?
Yeah, that's a good
question. Like they did in Carlsbad.
I don't know which one is more expensive.
Yeah, right? Desalinization. You talking about from the ocean?
Yeah. Well,
that's supposed to be really expensive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it more expensive for a desal plant, or is it more expensive for a, sewage to tap plant?
Right.
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
You know why you don't know? Because you're not a crooked politician.
Oh.
That's how you would know. That was pretty general. I didn't pick on anybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay non-committal.
Yeah.
That's interesting because usually your filter is a little off, but you're going to behave yourself today.
But we have a guest in studio today.
So we're going to behave ourselves.
Hey, I wanted to, I think it was Tiger probably put up some of the pictures I took at the LA Arboretum on Facebook.
Yeah, a lot of good comments. Nice pictures, John.
There was a picture there that I don't know if you noticed, but there was a starfish cactus blooming, right?
Yes.
And the thing about that is the flower is as big as a starfish and looks from a distance.
Well, give us inches.
Exactly like a starfish.
What, is it 8 inches across? Is it?
Oh, I think it. Yeah,
10 inches across.
Could be like 12 inches from point to point.
Wow, that is big.
But anyway, they're pollinated by flies, and
just a regular housefly, just regular fly.
Yeah, and because the odor they give off is rotting meat. So the flies are attracted to it.
Okay.
Well, if you look at the picture on Facebook, it shows a lizard on the starfish flower. And what I noticed for the first time in my life is that as the flies would come, the lizard would eat them.
Oh, pretty smart.
So, I mean, yeah, he
got that
he
figured
had
out.
that whole thing figured out. The flies are coming. They're being deceived. They think they're going to pollinate something. And
Does that get into that whole balance of nature thing going on there?
I don't know. That was one smart lizard.
That is smart. Okay, 12 minutes after the hour, more and more face people joining us. The camera's right there, so you can all look at the camera now and then. And,
hey, Lenore says she can finally hear us, so she wanted to wish us another good morning.
I like that when Lenore, when she can hear us. hey, no audio. Thank you, Lenore. We do appreciate that. We're going to have a good time today. 2 hours.
She was in Canyon Country, by the way, and I think that fires passed her by, but I think they're mostly under control, aren't they now? Even in Northern California?
Yeah, they're still burning.
Yeah, they're still burning.
Somewhat under control.
I was talking to a Fidelity person about my 401k last week, and first thing they said was, hey, are you okay with the fires out there? And I said, it's bad, but the impression they get from the media, the whole state is on fire.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. But if you're in a fire area, it makes no difference. I mean, you're in danger. But I think things are pretty much under control.
Yeah, Northern California was the worst.
Yeah.
Up near Sonoma, Napa, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the worst, right?
Right.
Ugh, scary.
One of the people that's speaking at the Rare Rose auction on the 16th or 17th, 16th, right, Brian?
It is the 16th.
And I think the talk's on the 15th is Greg Lowry from Vintage Gardens in Sebastopol, which is right outside of Santa Rosa.
Which is just north of San Francisco over the bridge.
Well, and that's the area that was all on fire, Sonoma County. And he's bringing a bunch of roses to the auction, so I hope everything's okay with them.
Have you
all
talked
those people up there.
Well, you'll speak with them before the auction, won't you, or not?
Yes, and I heard with one of our listeners up there sent me a note and said she was doing fine, but that her daughter and son-in-law had to evacuate, and they lost for some reason because of cell towers or something. They lost the ability to use GPS, and the freeways were closed, and they didn't know where to go, how to go by on roads, and smoke everywhere. And they had to call their mother, and she was giving them, she would go online and say, okay, there's a fire here, don't go there, go. They eventually made it out. But that would be scary. You rely so much on GPS today.
But and then with the smoke and everything, not even knowing what direction you're going.
Yeah.
Unless you're on a road and you have a general idea because you've been down that road before. But yeah, that would not be fun. So we're glad that for the most part things are okay. Now, John, do you have the quote of the week?
I do.
Now, how long is it? How much time?
It's very short.
Okay.
Very short, and it's one of your guys that you always like, Clarence Darrow.
Oh boy, a fan since I was 5.
I think that this quote sums up what I think of Clarence Darrow. Anyway, he said, I don't like spinach, and I'm glad I don't. Because if I liked it, I'd eat it, and I just hate it.
Now, what time period are we talking about? What was,
what is...
Well, remember the movie Inherit the Wind?
Yeah.
The Scopes Monkey trial was Clarence Darrow versus Bryan, I think. So that was back in is it the 30s?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Something like that.
Interesting decade, the 30s.
Yeah, and the trial was about that it was illegal to teach evolution in schools. And now it's illegal to teach creation.
That is so true. Okay, 60 minutes after the hour. Got a break coming up here in about 30 seconds. Going to set the stage, Tiger, real quick when we come back.
Yeah, when we get back, it's going to be Naomi Wentworth with the Compost Company.
All right, so do stay with us for that. Facebook viewers, we have a lot of you that are getting on board right now. Questions, comments. Going to be talking compost, and I know that's important to a lot of people, so feel free to post your questions, your comments right there on our Facebook page. I'm Bryan Main. Welcome, Garden America, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. We're going to step aside, coming right back on your Saturday morning. Oh, by the way, set your clocks back tonight. We'll talk about that, too.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hi, this is Bryan Main, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
This morning you feel alone, 'cause you forgot your phone at home. So now you're forced to interact with small talk and awkward eye contact. Out here trying to survive like it's 1995. The dark ages. When your morning is hell, just go to Taco Bell.
And try the $1 grilled breakfast burritos with fluffy eggs and your choice of crispy bacon, sausage, or potatoes. Only at Taco Bell. At participating stores for a limited time during breakfast hours. Prices may vary. Tax extra.
Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here, and you've probably heard, maybe from me, that if you owe the IRS money, they can do some scary things. Garnish your wages, levy your bank account, even seize your home or business. You add on the penalty. Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here, and you've probably heard, maybe from me, that if you owe the IRS money, they can do some scary things. Garnish your wages, levy your bank account.
If you owe the IRS, they want their money and will do whatever it takes to get it. But the truth is, they would rather settle for less than bother you more. That's why they're offering the Fresh Start program to help you solve your tax problem for good. You may qualify for tax relief that saves you thousands. Nobody knows this program better than Optima Tax Relief. They will fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-960-1575. 800-960-1575.
Optima Tax Relief.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Endless enchiladas are back at On the Border for just $10.99. Along with On the Border's endless chips and salsa, you'll get all the tender chicken, mouth-watering beef, and zesty cheese enchiladas that you can eat in any combination, just the way you love them. They'll keep bringing you plate after plate until you say no mas. And On the Border's newest award-winning house margarita is now only $3 all day, every day. It's endless enchiladas, available now for only $10.99 at On the Border.
We are back. Thank you so much for sitting through that rather awkward break. Bryan, Maine. John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. We are here, Garden America. And again, I do want to remind you, a big topic first hour, composting. And got a great guest, going to learn all about it, or even more if you don't know what's going on. So, Tiger, without any further ado, that's what it is when you talk before you get to the next topic. It's a do. It's always a do.
A do.
So, without further ado, Tiger, I'm going to toss to you. Let's get this compost conversation going on Garden America.
Yeah, so this morning we have Naomi Wentworth in studio with us with the Compost Company. It's a local company down here in San Diego that is kind of trying to avoid putting more things in our landfill and streamline the compost process and make it a little bit easier for everyone. Welcome to the show, Naomi.
Thanks so much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the general idea of what the Compost Company is.
Sure. So the Compost Company, we're a new company. We've been around for about a year doing testing for different soils. But what we do is we rent a little portion of farmland in San Diego. We operate a aerobic in-vessel compost accelerator where we, can turn food waste into soil in about 7 days. We take food waste from different restaurants. Right now we're operating just with Encinitas restaurants, but looking to expand within the new year. But yeah, we take their restaurant food waste, take it to our digester, turn it into soil in about 7 days, inoculate it with fungi, protozoa, all the things you need to have a healthy garden. And we will be selling our soil pretty shortly, probably about December.
Now, whose idea was this? Because a big smile on your face when you talked about we're going to be selling pretty soon. But the whole concept and how you got together and formed the company.
Well,
we have 2 hours.
So I worked in local government sustainability for a while, and waste management, especially in San Diego, was just the one thing that we cannot, stop sending our stuff to landfill. I'm from the Bay Area where, composting from our roadside pickup by waste management has been in place since the 90s.
Right.
So coming down here and just seeing that we're still sending everything to landfill was like mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
So I started tinkering with, how do we create a compost facility here? And, it's borderline illegal to compost in San Diego County. It's pretty nutty.
Wow.
So, I worked through a lot of different loopholes in the codes and found some exemptions and finally figured out a way that we can compost on really small footprints using, lots of different decentralized hubs, aka the farmland.
Yeah.
But it ended up being kind of like this win-win-win for everyone. Farmers get a little bit more rent money from me. Restaurants can finally, send their food waste to compost instead of landfill, which I get there's laws saying that we have to do that. And, the more immersed I've been in the soils world and having all these decentralized hubs, the more high-quality soil we can produce, being on like these small little hubs. So, it took about 2 years to get to this point, but finally figured out how to do it.
Well, Tiger, you might know the answer to this as well. Why all the red tape and pushback over something that seems so environmentally sound?
Ultimately, I think what it came down to is the same problems that we hear about with recalls in farm produce today, that, people think like, these bacterias and things that cause recalls, they come from the soil. They don't come from lettuce. They don't come from spinach. They don't come from those plants, because those plants aren't necessarily these carnivores that are eating bad meat or anything of that nature. What it is we're putting bad things into the soil, and then the plants then in turn have them. So they need control over that. So if somebody doesn't properly compost and they don't bring the compost up to the proper temperatures and all of that kind of stuff, you can ultimately be passing on some of those bacteria, those problematic microorganisms and things like that. So that's why, sometimes we have that red tape, especially for food waste, because, a restaurant clearing a table, there's a lot of mixed in food waste that could ultimately lead to a problem.
Yeah.
But anybody like Naomi who properly composts it solves those problems all by the normal compost process. They just don't want anybody doing it because that could ultimately lead to some kind of an outbreak.
So you take on the responsibility and licensing and all that had to take place?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different permits.
Yeah.
So, air, water, zoning, all that sort of
I
stuff.
bet you learned a lot along the way.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Talked with every department in the city and county and state.
I was really impressed in reading some of your background that you're working with someone that we had on the show a few years ago, Dr. Elaine Ingram.
Yeah, she's
You know,
awesome.
that's right,
a
yeah.
legend in the soils world.
Yeah, the soil food web, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Wasn't she Miss Compost 2001? I know that she's big.
Yeah. Well,
No,
so
I think she's probably recognized as the leading person in that field, isn't she?
Yeah. I mean, she discovered everything that's going on in the soil food web. So I'm
Right.
working with her pretty directly. I just was up in Oregon last week visiting with her and learning how to do all the microscope testing for all the right biology in the soil. But, I get my soil tested, by me and other people at my company, and then we send it to Elaine to verify that, we're trying to get the BioComplete trademark
Right.
soil that she creates. So, yeah, hopefully we'll have a local source of that here too.
Excellent.
Now, and people wonder sometimes, like, why? And, you mentioned it in the Bay Area that this is a standard of practice, even for homeowners, to have a bin. In the Bay Area, they have their trash bin, they have their green waste bin, they have the recycle bin, and then they have a compost bin, and, it's kind of standard of practice. They went to a zero, there is a zero waste goal for them. And, when you leave that area and you kind of wonder why other people aren't doing it, we're a little bit behind the ball. There's still cities and states that don't even recycle. You still go Midwest and they don't even know what recycling is. But nonetheless, like, a big reason why composting is important, especially for restaurants, is that, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but we all know we waste a lot of food.
Sure, yeah.
And then we all know that goes directly to a landfill. Well, a landfill is meant for things that would never be able to be reused again.
Yeah.
You're all you're doing is putting it into this big pile, and you hope to never have to touch it again.
Yeah.
Well, let's save that room for stuff we really don't want to touch again, and things that we can reuse. Let's divert it to other areas, and that's the compost process. So, it's kind of nice, and I think that it's a smart move to start with restaurants because they probably have some of the most waste out of anybody when it comes to food scraps.
Yeah, and high quality and, easy to really figure out what's going into your compost recipe. But, it's not even just not putting it in a big pile in a landfill, but it's also, we're throwing away this high nutrient quality stuff that can really regenerate our lands. We're, putting our toxic chemicals or inorganic fertilizers on our land and really killing all the bacteria and the fungi and the protozoa, all of which communicate with our plants and really help them be the most productive plants they can be. And by putting it in the landfill, we got to put it back on our land. That's what we have to be doing.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me.
Two references to protozoa so far. John,
they're the best.
We have to go to a break. John, you want to set up your question for the other side?
Well, it wasn't really a question. It was a comment, but I can certainly hold it for the other side.
So that said, we are approaching 30 minutes after the hour. We've got to take a break. Thank you for tuning in right there on Facebook. Stay as long as you'd like. And again, questions and comments, we're here to answer those for you. We're talking composting and Southern California, San Diego, hopefully catching up. This is Garden America. We're going to take a break. Come right back after this. Stay with us on Facebook and Biz Talk Radio.
This is Jesse's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
As a nurse, not making it to work was not an option. But driving through the snow with my wiper blades struggling, I just didn't feel safe. So I pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts, and before I knew it, an employee was offering to install the wiper blades on my car. I got to stay out of the snow for a moment, and I still made it to work on time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Raymond Denon, Vice President of Optima Tax Relief. If you're in debt to the IRS, there's a lot you need to know. Starting with rule number 1, don't mess with the IRS. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, even take your home or business. That's all true. But it's also true that there's a way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. It's one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, even tens of thousands. Nobody knows this program like us, the experts at Optima Tax Relief. We have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we've resolved over $500 million in tax debt for our clients. We'll stand between you and the IRS and fight to get you the best deal possible. Don't mess with the IRS. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima for a free consultation.
Call 800-721-3955. 800-721-3955. 800-721-3955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit GardenAmerica.com or EarthboundExpeditions.com.
For those of you still living under a rock, I'll let you know a second season of the Ron Burgundy Podcast is here right now. That's right, new guests, new stories, and a new sponsor. Coors Light Beer is coming on board this runaway train, and not a second too late. So settle in with the chillest beer I know, Coors Light, and take some time out of your day to just enjoy being in the moment and listening to Season 2 of the Ron Burgundy Podcast. Celebrate responsibly. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. For those of you still living under a rock, I'll let you know a second season of the Ron Burgundy Podcast is here right now. That's right, new guests, new stories, and a new sponsor. Coors Light Beer is coming on board this runaway train, and not a second too late. So settle in with the chillest beer I know, Coors Light, and take some time out of your day to just enjoy being in the moment and listening to Season 2 of the Ron Burgundy Podcast. Celebrate responsibly. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Thank you for sitting through the break. We are back. It is Garden America. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday morning. So glad to have you along. I'm Bryan, Maine, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, Naomi in the middle, rounding things out very nicely. And we're talking about compost, and we do have a question relating to right here in San Diego. And,
yeah, you know, before the question,
go ahead, John.
Give a shout back to Denise, who says, "Good morning from frost-covered Mississippi."
Wow.
She said
already.
She's staring out her front door, looking at a golden hickory nut tree, you know, from the winter. You know,
Sounds nice.
Did you hear today that there was early freezes in a lot of the states back east?
Yeah.
Hard freezes.
Yeah, hard ones, too.
Well,
Not just like a little...
It is November.
Hey, you know, prior to the break, I was thinking about what Naomi and Tiger were discussing, and Tiger was talking about taking some of these scraps and putting them into landfills. I think they compost there the same as they would somewhere else eventually, not as quickly.
Wrong.
Let me finish my thought, because there's probably more things you can tell me I'm wrong. But my thought was that then they become totally useless.
Right.
If you put them all into one area, compost them, you speed up the process quickly, and it's totally usable for wherever you want to move it.
Rebuttal.
Okay. So second part, yeah, it is usable. First part, putting it into the landfill. You create these anaerobic conditions. There's no oxygen coming in, so it decomposes and creates methane, which is, you guys know methane.
Oh, I didn't say it was good to do that. I just said it would happen.
Well, so it's anaerobic versus aerobic. When you're
and anaerobic's bad.
Yeah. So you're getting this nasty,
They're the bad
drippy
bacteria,
sludge,
right?
all the
Right.
bad bacteria,
Yeah.
off-gassing methane. When you're composting, you're putting air into it, so you're getting the good bacteria, you're getting a fluffy soil.
Well, that's
and
just
it's-
like the soil underneath. You need good oxygen under the soil, and you need room for the oxygen and the good bacteria to maneuver.
Yeah.
Same thing. Okay, let's get to this question from La Mesa. Do you recommend a specific compost for a home in La Mesa? Or does it matter where you live in terms of the environment?
Which bin you would use?
Yeah, exactly.
It matters a little bit the temperatures you get to, just if you cover your compost bin or
that's
not.
true. Okay.
So if it gets really cold, you can put a loose tarp over it so you can still get some oxygen flow.
So La Mesa does get warm in the summertime
Right,
here.
yeah.
So what do you think?
I mean, depends on how much land you have. If you're in La Mesa, you probably have some land. I would look up Dr. David Johnson. He's created these. You get these wire fencing, and it's called a static composter. So you just layer it with leaves, nitrogen-y food materials or whatever, leaves, branches, food material. Leave it there in this big wire container.
Okay.
Don't turn it. Don't do anything. If you do it this way, you're going to get the maximum amount of fungi because they don't like to be turned at all. And it's a pretty expedited composting project. You can, just put it in that little wire bin, get good compost in like 3 months-ish without
pretty
touching
good.
it. It's
Wow.
it's like the easiest way
What's
to do
this
it.
green-brown mixture we always hear about? Is it really that important to follow? Percentages? Or,
It is. You need,
Is there an
carb-
easy way to remember what to do when with green versus brown?
I mean, put a little bit more brown in than green.
And for our listeners, what are we talking about when we're talking colors? Like, what is green waste? What is brown waste?
So what we're really talking about is the carbon to nitrogen ratio, and actually everything has like a brown, dead
Component.
leaf is still going to have some nitrogen, but it's mostly the carbon value that you're looking at. So because that has primarily carbon, it's really good for fungus. That's what's going to eat it. Once you layer it with that green stuff that has a lot of nitrogen, it's kind of this expediter for all the bacteria to start eating each other.
It accelerates
and
it.
It accelerates the decomposition.
Okay.
But because you have that brown, leafy material, then we can start growing all the other organisms. So it's basically just, you need to have a big batch of organisms, and you need to be able to
And
get
is that
air
where
in.
the heat comes from?
Yeah, all the
From
bacteria
that process?
eating
processes?
each other.
We have a...
Rick's got a question, right, John?
Right. And he says, or he asks, was there an existing business model that you were following? Because it sounds like you had to learn a lot as you went along. And do you use green waste from commercial gardeners? I think by commercial gardeners, I think he means maybe...
landscapers? Or?
People that sell it?
Yeah, I was thinking more of maybe some of the city compost.
So there's kind of a
areas
two-part question about
Yeah.
learning as you go along, and then once you're doing it about the gardeners. So
Yeah. So this is, I guess, a mesh of a lot of different business models, but kind of a whole new thing that I had to create, I guess. Second part was, commercial landscape materials.
Yeah.
Yes, we do accept those. A little bit picky if there's any preservatives in any of like the tree chippings or whatnot. We can't use those because it'll kill all the bacteria and organisms.
And you
but-
really don't, not knowing the source of that, you don't know what was put into it, right? Because if you go to some of the areas that give out free mulch, I mean, you'll find plastics in there. And
Yeah.
You'll find, And if somebody used weed killers on grasses that were dumped, they can affect what's going on.
Yeah, so right now, not accepting those, but from specific landscapers that do know the source, we're able to accept that.
It's like driving by a house, and you by their front lawn there's a couch, free couch. Nobody wants it, but you put $10 on it, and they buy it.
Yeah.
What? How is that like that at all?
It's the exact same.
Kind of a methodology thing. Like, you don't want just free mulch. Why are you giving this away? What's in there? And the free couch, what's wrong with the couch? Put a price on it? Oh, okay, then it must be worth something.
I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah. And Tiger, if it was true, it would make sense.
Oh,
I'm just here to fill.
Yeah.
So, Naomi, you were around. This is kind of like you guys were your first year, right? And that's what you were saying is you guys are about to start selling your product, right? So, what does year number 2 look for you guys right now? How's everything looking for you guys? Are you guys kind of on pace to continue these efforts with creating more compost? Like, how much compost are you creating in a time frame? What are you guys doing right now?
So right now we just have one pilot project at Cal State San Marcos. We can accept about 1.5 tons per day.
Wow.
And it only decreases about 20% in the output.
That's a lot.
It's a good amount. And to stay within code, it's only on like 600 square feet. So we're just cranking stuff out.
Wow.
Year 2, we're going to be selling a lot of our, higher grade compost, but so we have not only the compost soil amendments, but the compost teas, protozoa extracts, nematode extracts, all those fun little things. Really want to expand into San Diego. So I do have 2 other farms signed up for 2 more hubs in North County, one in Vista, one in Encinitas, but just really year 2 trying to get down to San Diego.
Now, is it a hard sell, or do they get it?
It's not that hard of a sell because I pay rent to the farms.
Okay.
I help restaurants be legally compliant with their recycling organics, need.
So you're a welcome addition.
Yeah. It's a win-win-win for everybody.
Sure, yeah.
It's just tricky dealing with the cities.
And that's what I was going to ask you. You've been saying farm. Is it something about designated farm land that this is okay? Like, could you do this in somebody's backyard or no?
I could, but we have to bring in a truck per day of 1.5 tons of
stuff.
Yeah, and it doesn't have any odors or rodents or anything.
No, but I just didn't know if it had
but
to be like farm land.
It just makes more sense. We could do community gardens too. There's a lot of other places we could go, but the farms make sense.
I think Tiger was thinking more of the canyon past your swimming pool area.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In the back
looking
of
for a use for that.
Plenty of space. A truck can get down there easy enough. But one of the and I'm thinking part of your business model is the reason why you want that is, part of this whole, environmental, ecological thing is it's not right to take scraps from downtown San Diego and truck them all the way up to Oceanside, Vista, these places. That's part of the problem. That's part of the thing is like you want to keep it. If it's in downtown San Diego, let's find some place within 5 miles that we can drop it off there. And then you can distribute it from there also to all the people that live or farms that are in that area. Because, that's the big thing is, could we all take all of our scraps and send them out to Arizona? But that doesn't really solve the problem either because you just have all the trucking involved and everything else. So
and more expense.
Yeah.
Did I miss, I guess I just didn't hear completely what your ultimate goal was. Were you at all thinking about a retail bagged product eventually?
Yes, that will definitely be
because
happening.
I think there's a huge market for that.
Yeah. Yep.
Where it's just ready to go?
We will start selling in December.
No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. So what you would sell would be everything somebody needs. They don't have to do anything.
It's in a bag.
Yeah.
Just take it home and dump it out.
We're looking at the
just add water. No, I'm kidding. But
basically, and then apply it to your land once, and all the stuff starts growing.
And you know what? That's a great idea because when recycling started, we didn't have bins and stuff, and a lot of work to get it to where it should go, and a lot of people didn't do it. And then they got the idea, we'll put a trash can there, make it more convenient. Same thing with composting. A lot of people go, I don't know how to do that. What do I put in it? In this case, you buy the bag, you're good to go.
Yep.
Bryan has a retail name that you can use that he'll give you.
Oh, yeah?
The same one?
Yeah.
Happy Medium.
Ooh. I like it.
Well, we can talk.
Everybody heard it here first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
so, we got. Let's see, Tiger. We've got. We're going to take a break, I think, here.
Okay. After the break, we'll talk about where people can get a hold of Naomi, and all the information is on her website, so we can talk about those.
We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
For those of you still living under a rock, I'll let you know a second season of the Ron Burgundy podcast is here right now. That's right, new guests, new stories, and a new sponsor. Coors Light Beer is coming on board this runaway train, and not a second too late. So settle in with the chillest beer I know, Coors Light, and take some time out of your day to just enjoy being in the moment and listening to Season 2 of the Ron Burgundy podcast. Celebrate responsibly. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Hi, I'm Raymond Denon, Vice President of Optima Tax Relief. If you're in debt to the IRS, there's a lot you need to know. Starting with rule number 1, don't mess with the IRS. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, even take your home or business. That's all true. But it's also true that there's a way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. It's one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, even tens of thousands. Nobody knows this program like us, the experts at Optima Tax Relief. We have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we've resolved over $500 million in tax debt for our clients. We'll stand between you and the IRS and fight to get you the best deal possible. Don't mess with the IRS. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima for a free consultation.
Call 800-480-6932. 800-480-6932. 800-480-6932.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Is too much of a good thing even possible? Well, how does double of a good thing sound? Get ready because Taco Bell is about to make your day twice. The double chalupa is back. A crispy chalupa shell overflowing with double the seasoned beef and double the warm nacho cheese sauce. Your taste buds are going to do backflips. And right now it's part of the double chalupa box where you can get a double chalupa, one crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, and medium drink all in one box. The double chalupa only for a limited time at Taco Bell.
It is Garden America. Happy weekend. We are back on this Saturday morning. Thank you. We're talking compost. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox. Naomi's in the middle. John Bagnasco to my right. And again, we do appreciate it. Again, questions, comments right there on Facebook. And I think Rick has a question. John, do you want to tackle that one?
Well, Rick was asking, do you see a day, Naomi, when every city will be required to have a green waste recycle program? And he says that comments our citizens should start lobbying for them now rather than later. And I think you had mentioned that it is law in California.
Yeah, in California, it has been law for a few years now. The problem is it's not enforced. So, we have to recycle all of our organic material. There's no ways to do it, especially in San Diego, and no one's enforcing it. So if we want to do a citizen lobby, let's go for enforcing.
Yeah, I think the problem is, too, that, if you're in politics or on a council or somebody, if you're just not into gardening or landscaping, or that's not
or the environment.
Yeah, there are people like that just it's not that important, that don't understand that forget your political beliefs or whatever. This is important for everybody.
Right.
This is what we should be doing, and it should have done it a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm personally not a big fan of legislation to do that. I think that people getting together because it's the right thing to do.
It's the right, exactly.
I think the more you can leave government out of it,
right,
the more economical.
Then people feel
economically
forced.
it's going to be done.
Well, yeah, because then they feel forced they have to do it.
Right.
You put some bill up and they vote for it. Come on.
Right. And that's how we get, our pretty low quality municipal scale compost with the plastics and the free mulch and everything that we've just been talking about.
No, if you want plastic, just go into the ocean.
Yeah.
Hey, Lenore wants to know if it's necessary to add a compost starter. I'm sure you've heard of those, right?
Yeah, it's not necessary, but if you're putting it depends on the materials you're starting with. If you throw some food in there, that's going to have all of the bacteria needed to, start the microbial activity. If you don't have that, depends, but...
Now, what about water?
Yes.
Does it depend on the time of the year, too?
No matter what, always needs like 60% moisture in there. So what you do is you take your starting materials, squeeze it really hard. If you can get one drop out, it's at the perfect moisture level.
Oh,
that's a good measuring tool and very easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you weren't kidding when I said just add water.
No, it's true.
So Naomi, your guys' website is the Compost Company.
.co.
Now, there's some other ones out there with the same name. People have to be careful on that, Tiger.
There's a Compost Company in Tennessee, I think it is, if you just do thecompostcompany.com.
Yeah.
But thecompostcompany.co. And, people can go there. They can see, if you're a restaurant and you're in one of the areas that they're working, you can sign up for the program. If you happen to have about 700 square feet of space that you don't mind a truck backing into once a week?
Once a day.
Once a day?
6 days.
Once a day.
And it's a 2.5 tons.
Yeah.
3,000
But it's
pounds.
a pretty small truck. It's like a 14-foot box truck, and just one operator needs to be there an hour and a half a day.
I pictured a big dump truck, this huge truck coming in.
No. We're wheeling the totes in. It's clean. It's a clean process.
Not what has to be.
There's a way to sign up to see if your land would be a good fit for their abilities. And then I'm sure soon you're going to start to announce where people can buy your guys' product, right?
Yep.
So,
but a little too early for that yet. But what did you say? Within a year or so? Is that the goal?
December, January, we'll start sales. But we
have coming up real quick.
Yeah, we've got a little warehouse we can do some retail sales out of in San Marcos, but we can also ship, do whatever.
How simple? Because you just buy it. It's like set it and
Well, you're
forget
thinking
it.
of Christmas gifts, right? You want to get some compost for all your friends?
Well, it would be the gift that keeps on giving, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
Absolutely. Here, have some compost. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
Wow, why not, right?
I mean, when you think about it,
that's
I think
what every gardener wants.
A lot of people that don't because they don't know how or think it's just too difficult. I don't want to go through all that, and you're doing all the work.
Yeah.
It's an amazing program.
We got a couple of minutes here. Let's wrap up with any last-minute information that we should talk about or ways to find out more, maybe, Tiger.
Yeah,
Naomi?
So, but you guys are also on Facebook, the Compost Company Co.
Instagram, too, going.
So if you get our newsletter, there's a link in the newsletter. You can click right on that.
Perfect.
So
lots of good info. And then on the website, there's some good information about, composting and the process and stuff like that, and why it's important to do what they're doing, and, how you can kind of get more involved. So that's a fun thing to be a part of. And, we hope all the best. Hopefully everything goes well. Keep us in the loop. When you launch your products, let us know so we can tell our listeners and tell everybody where to find it as well.
Yeah, we should have you back again, maybe 6 months to a year, something like that, to see how it's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because December, January is your launch date, or when you're hoping to get this out.
Yeah, yeah.
And did we talk about what it's going to be called? Or do we know yet, or should we talk about that?
Company's called the Compost Company. We'll have various soil amendments, but
okay.
I guess I haven't really thought of.
Now you're getting into marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a little marketing plan, but so far they're just called nematode extractions and soil amendments. So maybe I'll just talk to you about all your names.
Yeah, we need something a little catchier than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now I want you to use protozoa in a sentence again, if you will. Okay, so we're good on time here, Tiger. We got a couple of minutes to go here. We got to stretch a little bit.
So, Naomi, you kind of came down from the Bay Area. You saw what San Diego had a need for. For the most part, how do you think the response has been? Has there been a lot of pushback, a little pushback?
I'm going to say it's getting easier, but it was hard at first.
It was very hard at first. It's interesting, especially with restaurants, 50% will be like, absolutely no, there's no way I can take a third bin in here. There's no way I'm going to hire a new manager in order to make sure people are putting things in the right bin. Other 50% are like, yeah, we've been waiting for this for a long time. Of course we'll separate our organics and let you pick them up. But overall, really good response. A lot of help from the entrepreneur community here. And
I would imagine when more and more restaurants do this, restaurants are kind of a community as well.
Yeah.
And they'll realize that, it's that easy, huh?
Yeah.
Or one manager goes from one place to another place, and he's like, "Oh, we were doing this," or she goes, "We were doing this before. Why don't we start doing this here now?" And next thing you know, you have a new restaurant in the program. So
and then all restaurants after that, new restaurants, it'll be an automatic thing.
Right.
It's like all the houses now that they're solar. You build them, and solar's an automatic thing. And hopefully, this will become something automatic as well. Yeah. Okay, I learned a lot today. I paid attention. Paid attention today. Okay, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Really, really appreciate that. Tiger, give the name one more time for people who are listening and watching.
The Compost Company.
Okay.
And it's thecompostcompany.co.
All right, we're going to take a break. Be with us 6 minutes after. Garden America, Biz Talk Radio, Facebook, coming up. Stay with us.
You do not want to miss it. Call right now, 888-366-3733, 888-366-3733, 888-366-3733.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
SDCCU has 30,000 ATMs and more than 40 Southern California branch locations open until 4 o'clock today. San Diego County Credit Union, it's not big bank banking, it's better. For details, call 877-SDCCU for you or visit SDCCU.com.
The Darren Smith Show, weekdays at noon on Extra 1360, KLSD AM, KGB FM, HD2, San Diego.
They are just explosive. They are in the top 10 nationally of 15 plays of 40 yards plus or more. Purdue's defense needs to limit that and keep the Cornhuskers trying to drive the ball down the field.
We talked about needing Nebraska to make some plays defensively, Chad. They'll get less help there than they've had. Cam Taylor-Britt, sick, did not make the trip, did not make it on the travel roster. He won't play. He's a guy that has forced 4 fumbles this year and picked up a couple of interceptions, as well as being one of the leading tacklers for that Nebraska team. And then for Purdue, they're continuing. They will have Jack Plummer as their quarterback. Jeff Brom said last week after their game against Illinois, it's open season for quarterbacks. We're looking at everybody. And then after a couple days, they watched the tape and he said, no, Jack's our guy.
Yeah, he's coming off before the Illinois game, his 2 best games of the season, but really fell apart in that weather game against Illinois. And not everyone handles the weather well. I think the wind and the rain certainly got to Jack. His worst game of the season, benched twice in that ball game.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. Nebraska and Purdue.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
And a very pleasant good morning, Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. This is hour number 2, and uno dos. Did I get that right, Tiger? I think so.
Yeah, perfect. Uno dos.
Cuatro, cinco, seis, siete,
Perfect,
ocho,
John.
Okay,
bilingual.
beautiful.
You were bilingual.
French, un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, huit, neuf, dix. Okay.
Trilingual. Boom.
Japanese, ichi, ni, sa, shi. That's as far as I can go. You can go further than that, can't you, in Japanese, John? Can you count in Japanese?
No.
Oh.
John's just looking at you
I set this
with
whole
a
thing up.
blank stare.
Why would I know Japanese? Do you remember the trivia question we had years ago? This has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, goodness.
Except you said the word Japanese. But the trivia question was, we had as a guest in studio was the late Ted Niffing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ted was here a few times.
Yeah. And we used to do trivia questions back then.
Yeah.
And the trivia question was, what can Ted do that Bruce and Sharon Asakawa cannot do? And the answer was speak Japanese.
Yeah, that's right. They don't speak any Japanese. They're so Americanized.
Well, they speak Japanese the same way I speak Italian.
Yeah.
You know, they can understand some of it.
You can get by.
Yeah, usually, you know, all the swear words I know, because when my parents would talk, the stuff they didn't want us to hear, what they'd say in Italian.
But you still, hey, go ahead.
Well, you know, it would be fun. You know who reached out to me earlier this week was Steve Godo. So I'm going to try to have
Steve
him
on.
Yeah, I'm going to try to have him. But you know who would be fun to have on is Eva Niffing. She's a hoot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ted,
Get her on.
You know, yeah, she's funny. She's funny.
But you know what? We got to get the Godo man on.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, we'll have Steve on soon.
The last time I can't believe, was it the last time I saw Steve was when we had the pepper tasting years ago?
Wow. Oh, over in Bonsall?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a while back. And
you know what I remember from that pepper tasting?
I remember that I'm not good at many Scoville units. I don't do well.
Well, Steve set up the tasting for the peppers from sweet pepper, which is 0 Scovilles, all the way up to the hottest. And there was a salesperson at Euro American Propagators that I told, whatever you do, don't eat at that end because it's too hot. She goes, "Oh, I really love hot peppers." I go, "Yeah, but those are really hot." She went over and got one and put it in her mouth and ate the whole thing.
Wow.
And I said, "You don't think that that's hot?" "Oh, well, it's a little bit. It's a little bit hot. I can taste some heat."
Why am I crying?
And then we were on the radio at the time, I think.
Yeah.
And I turned over a couple minutes later and I saw her vomiting into a trash can.
You know what? I'm
I think
convinced.
it kind of sneaks up on you.
I am convinced that people who can eat hot peppers or whatever, it's predetermined in their genetics.
Yeah.
It has to be, because I saw somebody on YouTube. Now they have the chip challenges. The hottest chip in the world, and people are going crazy, going to the hospital, grabbing milk, grabbing ice cream. And this one woman, and she's as thin as a toothpick, but she's a food eater. Food challenge.
Uh-huh.
She goes, "Okay, here I go," like a Dorito. Put it in her mouth, chewed it up. It's hot. It's coming on. And then she goes, "Well, here's the next one. I don't see what the big deal is. I think all these people are just being dramatic." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" And also on YouTube, I forget the name of the show. It's been on for a while. The guest has celebrities on, and they have like maybe 10 hot sauces all lined up, and they have chicken wings. And if somebody listening knows, tell me, because I forget the name. And so what they do, they put a little dab on there, and he conducts an interview. So when you got started in Hollywood back in the day, and then they'll be eating, and they work their way up, and then you can see them starting to sweat, and they want to hang in there. And they go from very mild to very hot. And they put the Scoville unit up there. And some people are just really good at it. Other people, they go, "You know what? I'm tapping out. I can't do this."
Yeah.
I used to work with a guy who was about 6'4", blonde hair, blue eyes.
Whoa.
Real.
Sounds handsome.
Yeah. Well, he was worked in the wholesale gardening industry. Just a really tough guy, right? And his wife was Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
And he would come, she would pack a lunch for him every day at lunch. He'd sit there and he'd pull out these peppers and he'd eat them. And sweat would be pouring off his face, literally dripping.
Oh, no, I've seen it. Yeah.
All over.
Yeah, I believe it.
And his face was completely red and it looked like he was in pain. And I said, "Do you really like this?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, I love them." He said, he asked me several times, "Do you want to try one?" I said, "No, looking at you, I really don't think so."
Is it just me, or when you get to a certain point that the pepper is so hot you can't take it, there's no taste left because all you're tasting is the hot?
I agree. I agree.
Right?
You lose flavor. And that's, John helped introduce a pepper a while back, the habanada,
right,
which is the habanero flavor, which is actually a really good flavor,
right,
but without the heat, because like you just described, when it gets so hot, you lose sight of the flavor,
right,
the smoky flavor,
right,
the pepper flavor, all of those different undertones. When you have so much heat,
right,
you do lose the flavor. And it's, let's be real, the peppers have a lot of really great flavors. It's fun to have a little bit of heat, but manageable.
Now, I don't really hot peppers aren't meant, I don't think they weren't developed to be eaten that
straight
way. They're meant to be used. Gimmicky? No, it's meant to be used in cooking. You just use a little bit.
Use like a spice,
right,
a little bit of salt or a lot of salt.
So now the Carolina Reaper is no longer the hottest one, I guess, right?
No, there's a couple others.
There's a couple other, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the names, but
and I think people are just now propagating them just to, as food challenges and people eating them, who can take the hottest pepper.
Oh, I thought that the Carolina Reaper was the hottest.
No, it got beat by something recently.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're way over 2 million Scoville units now, aren't we?
Yeah. Hey, so we have some questions.
Let's get to the questions.
Who has Facebook up right now?
Are you talking about, is it Marcia or Marcy? Is that the one you're looking at?
There's a few that I saw pop up.
Was wondering let's see. Was wondering what it means to have restaurants just put the organic in waste. Does that mean a difference in all green waste, i.e. veggie? Could you use bread scraps, eggshells, etc.?
Yeah, so, what Naomi does with her, company and her product line for restaurants is that they're only going to use clean green waste. So that's only going to be the lettuce, the salads without the dressing, not mixed with pasta, not mixed, obviously without any meats or fish or anything of that nature. So the restaurant has to do a good job of when they're serving a dish, they serve it in separate dishes, Because otherwise, if you serve it all on one plate, you go to scrape it all off, it's all going to come off in different things.
Yeah.
So the restaurants have to kind of implement a program for themselves to keep those things separate and clean. There are ways to, like you just say, Brian, like maybe throw in the breads or different things like that. But back to what I had said initially, it's much more difficult for you to make sure you have a clean product when you start, lack of better words, cross-contaminating food. It's harder for you to have that clean product at the end of the day. So that's why you need it to be just clean green waste.
Okay. And if you're doing compost at home, you can put in small amounts of that, even meats, into your compost, but not a lot.
Again, it's just you have that opportunity to introduce something that maybe you don't want in the soil.
Right.
And then, like I said, there is no problem putting bacteria-filled E. coli, whatever, into a flower bed, to the degree of you're not going to eat the flowers. You're not going to eat the trees, because that's what happens is it absorbs and goes into these plants, and that's where we get sick. That's where animals get sick from this,
Well, one of the things I was shocked to learn was we were talking earlier about we were working with someone and Dr. Elaine Ingram on making a biologically active potting soil. Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to be the most active ever. And the person who came up with the idea said that he wanted the bacteria that were in the potting soils listed. And there are no potting soils I'm aware of on the market that list bacteria in the amounts. So he had that done, but then he couldn't get a license to sell the product because some of those were disease-causing bacteria.
Yeah.
And the last thing that the government wants to see is you selling something that's going to cause disease.
Yeah.
Now,
you don't want salmonella listed on the bag.
Yeah. Well, working it into the soil, there was, very little hazard, but it's still possible, like you're saying, Tiger, if you get into some of those.
Yeah, and like I say though, but you don't have to be as critical as long as you're not using it in your food crops.
Right.
But even
edibles,
then,
keep it away from
but even
edibles.
then, John, and you might know more than me, a lot of times it's the leafy greens that are the biggest problem, because don't like if you were to put it on a citrus tree crop, it doesn't really contaminate the citrus all the way, right? Because of the way that it absorbs through the plant, then the flower is different, and then there's that barrier, there's that connection that don't allow a lot of things to go from the true plant itself
I get it,
to the fruit itself.
Yeah. Hey, we got to take a break. Hold that thought. Hey, talk about the newsletter when we come back, and let's talk about the trip as well. We're about halfway there, that trip to Europe, so climb on board. We'll discuss that, more details. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main. Welcome. It is Garden America, and please, those Facebook questions and comments, we're waiting for you.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is Bryan Main, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Hi, I'm Raymond Denon, Vice President of Optima Tax Relief. If you're in debt to the IRS, there's a lot you need to know. Starting with rule number 1, don't mess with the IRS. They can garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, even take your home or business. That's all true. But it's also true that there's a way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. It's one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, even tens of thousands. Nobody knows this program like us, the experts at Optima Tax Relief. We have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we've resolved over $500 million in tax debt for our clients. We'll stand between you and the IRS and fight to get you the best deal possible. Don't mess with the IRS. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima for a free consultation.
Call 800-721-3955. 800-721-3955. 800-721-3955.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Taco Bell's nacho fries are the taste sensation sweeping the nation.
Melt of your cheese brought me to my knees. You got me begging, baby, please don't leave.
And now you can experience the Mexican spices and warm nacho cheese sauce live from your house with Taco Bell delivery. Go to TacoBell.com and get nacho fries delivered today. Available at participating locations for a limited time only. Delivery service and small order fees will apply.
Okay, welcome back. It is Garden America. That's right. That's who we are. And this is Facebook Live and Biz Talk Radio. Thank you so much for being right there. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main. Okay, two things we wanted to talk about. Quickly, let's talk about that newsletter, John, because you made reference last hour about the newsletter with our guest, and people say, well, what good does the newsletter do me? First of all, I say, John works hard on this newsletter. It's got a lot of great information, John. What do you do? You know what? Because of that newsletter, I will tell you something. Because of your newsletter this week, I remembered that tonight we turn our clocks back.
I was going to ask you what your favorite part of this week's newsletter was.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it. Turn your clocks back. And, of course, Sharon had another article in there that she contributed.
I don't know why, if you listen to the show, you would not get the newsletter. Because all you have to do is go to gardenamerica.com, and at the bottom of the page, just put in your email address, and you get it every Friday. And you're not even required to open it up when it shows up in your email. Yeah, if you're busy that week,
just look at the subject line.
You can click delete if you want.
Well, you wouldn't want to. We've got information, we've got articles, we've got upcoming guests, we have pictures,
and it's going to be that time of year soon where we're going to have wonderful opportunities for some great Christmas gifts, some great specials.
We're going to do some giveaways this year.
You know, this year we're teaming up with some excellent companies that are going to help us give great sales to our listeners, because we're teaming up with a lot of good companies.
I wonder if I can sign up again, or do I only need you to do it once?
Hey, I do want to remind, because I want to talk about our European trip. Rick, you have another question, I believe. Lenore and Sue is on there, Sue Miller. So we're going to get to your questions.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about a trip, because now we're halfway there as far as how many people we can take.
Well, not only are we halfway there, but if you want to get that discount, you need to sign up before December. Well, by the end of December, I think.
Right.
So to find out about the trip, just go to earthboundexpeditions.com, and you can find out about our trip the last day of May into the first 2 weeks of June.
Now, I always get confused. Where are we going?
I think Tiger's going to pick you up and take you to the airport. So really,
I love that.
You don't have to worry about.
You know what's
anything.
great? The last couple of trips to Europe, John showed up at our house about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. We got in the same car and they took us to the airport, and I felt comfortable because I was with you and I knew we were going to get on the right flight. I didn't even have to think about anything, and that's what I liked.
Well, you brought Dana too.
Well, yeah, a little direction.
Yeah, she always tells you what to do, steers you in the right direction.
Absolutely, but I get up early anyway. So we're going to
Austria. You never know because of how the weather is. You're not quite sure in the spring how it's going to be, but hopefully it'll be the peak season for the International Wildflower Festival, which we're going to go to in the Julian Alps in Slovenia, right outside of Lake Bled, which, I sound like a broken record, but it's a magical place. If you Google Lake Bled and look at images,
if that doesn't sell you, nothing will.
That's it, and it looks much better when you're really there. So we'll be visiting there, and you are all excited because you keep saying that there's almost 80 species of wild orchids that you're hoping you're going to be able to see.
That's what it is.
During the Wildflower Festival.
It's not an orchid show. It's 80 species of orchids.
It's nature's orchid show is what you were trying to say.
I think I would like a black orchid. They're black orchids, right?
Yeah, and it was actually developed by someone here in Carlsbad.
The black orchid. You don't see it. Do you? I don't see them out and about.
I think I've killed one or two. I don't know if Sharon still has hers.
Well, now we should explain that to people. When you're in the garden and things aren't going very well, you have a bit of a temper, and you kill plants, and you killed your orchid, your black orchid.
Well, that's the black orchid is one that is not an outdoor hardy orchid.
No,
so
yeah.
I don't do well with indoor plants anymore.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day, I used to. But anyway, there is a black orchid, and it was developed by the guy that's in charge of the flower fields, and I can't remember his name right now. But he used to, I think they were $100 a piece.
Wow.
And how many times a year do they bloom?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
mine never did. It just died after. It was blooming when I got it, then it died because I didn't take care of it. It didn't die without help, I'll tell you that.
You did it commit suicide?
Yes, but you're getting me off topic.
Sorry, back to Europe.
Finishing about this tour.
Yeah.
We'll go from Slovenia to Austria, and then from Austria to the Czech Republic. So we'll be visiting Prague, excuse me, Vienna, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So anyway, again, to sign up, Brian, what do they do?
You got to go to earthboundexpeditions.com for all the information and the day-by-day itinerary, which most everything's inclusive. Your tips, your hotels, your meals.
And everything's listed there, too, so you can see what hotels we're going to be staying in. You can Google those, look it up. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I looked at the people that have already signed up, and it's a fun group so far.
Yeah. When you say fun, you're not kidding. Hey, so let me just a quick question about our website. Back up and working, or are we still tweaking a few things?
It's always being tweaked. We're always updating things.
Right, it's always being tweaked, and the thing that needs to be fixed now, for the most part, is me.
Okay.
Because I'm just not used to working with it.
But it's different, but you'll get used to it. Just like your email. You're comfortable with that now, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I have to admit that.
All right, good.
All right, we had some questions.
Okay, let's get to them. We got about 3 minutes to the break.
Okay, Rick says that I'm finding out that our soil and water are very alkaline in the Boise area.
Wow.
So, plus it's very dry there with about 13 inches of rain per year, just like Southern California, right?
Pretty much spot on.
So what type or group of plants would do well here?
Well, not Southern California plants, though. Still, you're still in Boise.
Yeah.
But what about hardy California natives?
Like the ones that are more native to our mountain regions, right?
Right, because, we have dry alkaline soils here.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that's hardy, get a copy of the Sunset Western Garden book and find out what zone Boise's in and see what you can use.
There you go, Rick. Yeah, that's a good...
redbud tree would probably do...
well, things that actually like alkaline soils and are hardy would be lilacs.
Ooh.
The only thing is that they are going to require some water,
mm-hmm.
but You know, a friend of ours who's coming to the rose auction in 2 weeks lives in Nampa, which is right outside Boise. She's got 1,800 roses.
Wow.
So obviously roses do really well there.
Yeah, sure.
So they'll take the cold. But again, you're going to have to add water. And if you have plants that don't like alkaline soil conditions, all you got to do is switch over to cottonseed meal in your fertilizing or what's the one that we like? Biosol.
Yeah, Biosol.
You can use Biosol, anything that's going to help acidify the soil, and you can grow almost anything.
Now, you know what my tip is with Biosol. Do not use it in the house.
That's right. It does have an odor once it gets wet.
Okay, we've got about 30 seconds to a break coming up, and we have 2 more questions to get to. Lenore, Sue, also, we're going to get to your questions.
We could do Lenore's quick.
Okay, go ahead. Do Lenore real quick.
She says, can you put fish in a compost pile?
And the answer is no, because fish like water.
They like a lot more water.
A lot more water.
Yeah, no, fish are excellent in a compost pile because that's where you get fish meal from.
That's right. We're going to take a break. We'll see you on the other side. Questions, comments on Facebook. This is Garden America.
If you're not a huge fan of Wednesdays, maybe because it's the furthest day from the weekend, you'll be a huge fan of Taco Bell. Because tomorrow, a Wednesday, Taco Bell's giving away free tacos to all of America. Yeah, base was stolen in the World Series, and now Taco Bell's letting you steal a free Doritos Locos Tacos. Swing by Taco Bell between 2 and 6 or order on the app at TacoBell.com all day. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 per person while supplies last. Visit TacoBell.com/steal-a-taco for details.
Hi, welcome to Metro. How can I help?
Hey, so I've got 2 sons.
And you need a great gift that isn't too expensive.
Yeah, but really great. Like
the best deal in wireless.
Yes, that.
Well, right now, when you switch, you get 1 full Amazon Prime membership included every month.
Really?
Yep, and 2 awesome free phones from top brands like Samsung and LG with huge HD screens to watch all your favorite shows and movies, all with 2 lines for just $90.
Wow, that's so amazing. It needs a name.
The best deal in wireless.
Oh, there you go.
It's the best deal in wireless only at Metro. Switch now and get 1 full Amazon Prime membership included every month. Plus 2 free phones from top brands like Samsung and LG with huge HD screens. All with 2 lines for just $90. That's the best deal in wireless, only at Metro. Plus sales tax and activation fee. Requires porting of eligible number not currently active on T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days. Limit 4 free phones per account or household. Offer subject to change. Offer valid for new Amazon Prime members. Amazon Prime has a $12.99 per month value. Restrictions apply. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Okay, kids, we're leaving.
Bye, guys. Be safe.
You won't be getting online then?
No,
so much homework. Okay, good. And you don't have a tablet hiding under the sofa cushion, right? No smart TV remote up your sleeve?
No.
Or your sister hanging action movie style from the ceiling with a gaming console? No?
That would be dangerous. I would never do that.
Oh, great. So then I don't need to activate parental controls on our AT&T internet then.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Okay, I'll just leave. And turn off the Wi-Fi from the car with the cool app.
What? Sarah.
Your home is only as smart as your internet. Get AT&T Internet for $40 a month and set parental controls with our Smart Home Manager app. More for your thing. That's our thing. Requires 12-month agreement. Includes internet plans 10 megabits to 100 megabits when bundled with other qualifying minimum $19.99 per month service on one bill. Early termination fee, taxes, and other charges and restrictions apply. Data rates may apply for app download and use. Geographic and service restrictions apply. See if you qualify at att.com/internet.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then go to Babbel.com, download the app, and try it for free. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just go to Babbel.com and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or go to Babbel.com and try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
All right, back here on Garden America. Happy Saturday. And for those of you on the East Coast, we say good afternoon to you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Again, gardenamerica.com and Facebook Live, questions and comments. A couple more questions, John, to get to, or at least one more.
Yeah, Lenore thanked us for the information on the fish. She wasn't sure about
Thank you,
that.
Lenore.
But yeah, fish are...
very good.
Yeah, very. Have you tried
Indians
your
used to
fish
use
fertilizer yet that we got from Heirloom Roses?
Not yet. I've got the big bottle in my shed.
You know what? Go put it today.
Did you try to?
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that to you when you said the fish thing. I was like,
Now, she warned us about the smell. Did it smell really bad?
It was very smelly, but it faded after a few hours, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
But yeah, I used it. I used some on my podocarpus hedge, and then I used some in a veggie pod that I.
And your podocarpus hedge, did you use a hose and sprayer, or how did you get it?
No, I just
watering can.
Watering can.
What is it? So many ounces per gallon or something? Or?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You dilute it down, but you don't have to dilute it down too much because it's fish, and it's not too bad if you put too much on there, kind of a thing.
Now, can Bryan use it
on his patio?
Right, with condos all around him. It's going to be a problem.
You know, I used it on a plant under my patio as well, palm, and it wasn't bad.
I'll blame it on somebody else. I'll blame it. You know, I don't know. I smell. Who did? Ooh, I know. I smell that as well.
Yeah. No, it wasn't bad. It was definitely bad when you opened it up, but that's how you know it's good.
You know, another good answer. No big deal. It's a rotting corpse. Don't worry about it.
I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I was working for a garden center back in Michigan. I think I was 18, something like that. And there was a guy that worked there that was always causing trouble. And
just one of those kind of little troublemaker, right?
Yeah, and he got into it with another guy that used to work there who didn't like being picked on, but this guy would always pick on him. So to get even with him, he took fish fertilizer and poured it in the guy's heater.
Oh,
and in Michigan, though, when the temperature's like 20 below zero,
you got to have heat.
You've got to turn your heater on, and you got that smell. It was bad.
My mother told me a story years ago. She's from the Midwest, Nebraska, same kind of heater thing. That as a prank in college, they would go to the dorms, get into somebody's dorm room, and put cheese in somehow on those old heaters, and then the heat would come up, and it would just be like, "What is that?"
Yeah,
cheese,
rotten cheese,
and
it would melt.
Gag.
Now, if you put the bread down first, you can make grilled cheese sandwiches. That would be all right.
That's what you did to alleviate the problem.
That's right.
What's the next question?
Hey, okay.
Sue Miller?
Sue says she wants to know, is seaweed extract harmful to bees? And she wants to spray a tangerine tree, and some spray may drift to a nearby beehive. Look forward to your Saturday morning show. Thanks.
Thank you, Sue. Do appreciate that. Can I answer that?
Sure.
I'm going to guess no.
Can I answer that? I'll throw a guess out there.
So there's your answer, Sue. Bryan guesses no.
I don't think it's harmful to bees.
I don't think it would be either.
Because it's a natural. It's not a chemical and not fertilizer or anything.
It's not just that. Seaweed extract, as far as being harmful to bees, the only way it would be harmful to bees if it was directly sprayed on a bee.
On a bee,
you know what I mean?
And you drown
yeah,
them.
Yeah. But just drift, or just if the bees went to the plant after the fact, that would not be harmful at all.
Now, what is faster growing? Seaweed or bamboo? I think it's seaweed.
Seaweed,
yeah.
Yeah.
Fastest growing land plant is bamboo.
It's bamboo, yeah. Exactly.
Fastest growing plant.
Do you have any bamboo? You plan on planting a big?
Eventually, maybe down in the tree pit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking of.
But you're not
got
gonna
a lot
plant,
of trees to remove first.
You're not going to plant running bamboo. You're going to plant clumping bamboo.
It can run down there, do whatever it wants.
Really? Because there's nobody
You've got
there?
to see the tree pit. You have no idea what that is.
Well, why don't you? You should be taking pictures of this whole process.
I don't understand why you're not up there sometimes, just helping me do things.
You know how hard it is just to get up in the morning, let alone get up to you.
I come down here every single week.
You know what? You are not a good person to lease a car. Leasing would not be good.
I could never lease a car.
No, because you'd hit your 36,000 miles in about a month.
I had a salesman try to talk me into a lease one time.
Oh, it's how far you drive every day.
And back then, I was working in Glendora, and I was driving 1,000 miles a week.
Jeez.
You know what? He's a real slick guy.
Yeah.
I mean, at least if you drive, I drive 8 miles to work every day and back. Haven't taken a trip.
Yeah. I did. I think I worked 3 years driving 50,000 miles a year. So it's like at the end of 3 years, brand new car had 150,000 miles on it.
All right, Tiger, Mission Hills Nursery here in San Diego. Halloween is over.
Yep.
Besides the obvious.
What are you doing with your pumpkins? How are you recycling those?
What's going on?
Well, we keep them all the way through Thanksgiving because
it's still
there are people that still want them for their centerpieces and displays through Thanksgiving.
It's fall, autumn still. We're not into winter yet.
And knowing Tiger's dad, I can picture him doing that. He would want to see if, poinsettias still look good. They're red. Let's sell them for Valentine's.
There we go. But Shay, so something funny that happened to me. So we sell pumpkins at the nursery,
right?
And I don't know what it was about this year, or just me not paying attention, but I just waited until the last minute to bring pumpkins home for the children to carve.
Sure. Yeah.
Nobody had pumpkins left over besides the smaller pumpkins, which we still carved. But any kind of decent sized pumpkin, everybody sold out this year. Everybody, grocery stores, we did. Everywhere. I mean, maybe a pumpkin patch, but I don't go to
now.
Now,
forgive my ignorance, but what's up with the pumpkins that have all the dimples and bad acne all over them?
Yeah,
they're not.
You don't like them?
No, not at
That's
all.
What everybody makes their centerpieces, their big Pinterest displays, and all that kind of fun stuff.
Good for them.
We sold those a few years ago.
Did we? How'd we do?
What are they called? Peanut pumpkins?
No, I
don't know. They look like they have peanuts glued all over them.
Yeah, or bad acne.
Or
popcorn. Really bad.
Yeah,
There's a lot of different ornamental pumpkins.
And I'm trying to like them. I stare right at them, hoping that I'm going to see something different. And
what about the ghost pumpkins, the white ones? Do you like those?
Can't see them.
They're not invisible. They're ghosts.
Yeah.
Ghosts aren't invisible.
John, are you checking your email right now?
No, I haven't checked my email the whole show.
What if somebody took my advice early on and emailed you at john@gardenamerica.com?
Well, first of all, if anybody did hear you, they would have heard my retort to you.
Yes.
And known better. And I just checked. No one has done sent me an email.
I won the bet with Tiger. It took you an hour and a half to get cranky.
No, I started out cranky. Don't you remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I guess I
did.
And
but I quickly regretted it.
2 weeks, the rose auction, right? 44 roses to be given away live, right? Yeah.
You know what? If you go to SaveTheRoses.com, you can see every single rose in the live auction, every one that's going to be in the silent auction, and you can see the schedule of the speakers on that Saturday.
We should remind people who don't
you
even
never
live
come
here.
Saturday.
Can't come Saturday.
Why not?
I got kicked out that one year. I was told to come back tomorrow. I was escorted out of there. You remember?
The restraining order is no longer in force.
Well, I still feel uncomfortable. But those of you that do not live in San Diego, that you can do the silent auction, though, right, John?
Yeah, if you go to SaveTheRoses.com, you can put in bids now. And what happens, it's not a real-time bid. you put your bids in online, and then we assign them to a proxy who will go around and bid for you during the auction itself.
So you put your maximum bid.
Yeah, you put your maximum bid in. Say your maximum bid for a rose is $50, but the bidding for the rose actually starts at $5. That person will go through and bid $5 for you, and then $1 increments as other people bid.
And so you just put your maximum is 50, but you might get it for 40.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
I've had people put down $60 and actually get the rose for about $8.
Yeah, so
you just never know.
Now, that's on Saturday, right?
That's
on Sunday.
It starts on Saturday,
Right.
but the bidding for the silent auction finishes at noon on Sunday.
Oh, I won't be around on Sunday.
Well, that's when I do the live auction on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's the question I ask John every year.
We've got to redesign this.
Say,
whole
John,
thing.
what time should I be there? What time does it start? He goes, we start at 1:00, and I sit there for 45 minutes. So, what time does the actual auction really start this year?
If I was you, I'd be there at noon.
9 a.m.
No.
9 a.m.
No.
Be ready.
No, because it's not gonna start till about 1 or 1:30. I'm gonna call somebody else. It's going to give me the real scoop.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't even have to call anyone, because if you go to savetheroses.com, it tells you the exact time of the auction.
Exact time. Okay.
And the other thing is every rose in the auction is listed there with a link to help me find roses. So if you see a rose that you like the name of, perhaps, you can just click on it and find out all about it, see pictures of it. I have a rose that I think you'd like the name of. It's called the Whiter Shade of Pale.
Procol Harum.
Whiter Shade of Pale.
Yeah. It's not in the auction, but isn't that a great name for a rose?
How about Conquistador? Conquistador would be a good name for a rose.
There is a rose called Conquistador.
Hey, we got to take a break. Let's see here. Yes, a break coming up. We have one more segment. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, questions, comments, be sure to get those in right now as we continue on this Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Garden America, Tiger Palafox. John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Mann, coming back. Stay with us.
Balance of Nature, changing the world one life at a time.
Your product is absolutely amazing. I can't tell you how my life has been changed so completely. I'm just at a loss to describe. I don't know how I could ever tell Dr. Howard and Susan, his dear wife, how much I deeply appreciate all of the work they put into this magnificent product. I mean, there's so many things that have improved. And I'm only just beginning.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And we will take an additional 35% off of your first order. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code San Diego.
Hey, there's a new type of account takeover attack called lateral phishing.
It's a serious threat. Cyber criminals hijack your email account and use it to launch phishing attacks on your internal and external contacts.
What if they attack us?
Don't worry. We have Barracuda Total Email Protection.
So we're secured?
Completely, with the industry's best layered defense against attacks, including account takeover and phishing.
That's a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Taco Bell Party Packs are now available for delivery. Nothing can stop us now. What does everyone want tonight? Tacos, tacos. Now what's gonna start this party off right? Tacos, tacos. You can call us crazy, that's okay. We'll get party packs delivered any day. Bring the party to your crew with Taco Bell Party Packs. Get free delivery on your first Taco Bell order over $12. Only with Grubhub. Available for participating locations through Grubhub. Prices and items may vary. Tax extra. Delivery service and small order fees will apply.
All right, it is 51 minutes after the hour. This is our final segment here. Time for your questions, comments on Facebook, whatever's on your mind. I think we covered most of the questions. First hour with Naomi talking about compost. That was a good, fun first hour. And now we're just kind of chit-chatting about anything garden-wise, getting into the season with Christmas around the corner. My gosh, Christmas trees already.
Tomorrow.
Time change tonight, right?
Yeah, tonight. Yeah.
Now,
Actually, tomorrow morning at 2 a.m.
I do like John does. I set my alarm to wake up at 2 and then change it.
You know what's nice is that
I
nowadays
save mine, remember?
That's right.
Every year I save that hour. Until, you're really tired or something, you can use it that day.
Well, nowadays, too, you remember you had to go around changing all the clocks and all that?
Yes.
They change themselves.
The only
now,
thing
yeah.
you do nowadays is the oven and my car.
Well, I've got my oven, my microwave.
Yeah.
And we do have a few clocks hanging on the wall that battery. Yeah.
No. The TV changes
TV,
itself. The
everything
cable
changes.
box changes itself.
Yeah.
Your phone changes itself.
How do you feel about that?
Much easier.
It's easier, but kind of controlling you, aren't they?
My grandfather
definitely.
clock
Definitely
changes
Big Brother.
itself.
Your grandfather clock is still alive?
It changes itself.
changes
Wasn't there
itself.
some kind of song about my grandfather's clock? Do you remember that? Was it a kid's song or something?
I don't recall. Of course, I don't remember the 30s.
Wasn't it? Grandfather's clock was too large for this shelf, so it sat so many years on the floor.
Well, if anybody knows, listening on Facebook, watching on Facebook, let us know.
Hey, do you know what happened in 1954 on this very date?
Hold on. 54. Hold on. 54.
An event that changed my life.
Okay, 54. You were already born.
I was 5 at the time.
Okay, you were already born. You didn't have kids yet.
November
54. 54.
Actually changed my life 18 years after that, but
Well,
it
no, wait, now
happened on that day.
You're confusing me now.
Yeah.
All right. It happened that day, November 2nd, 1954. Changed my life.
Well, it's certainly not a day that will live in infantry.
Well,
what happened?
I would get in trouble if it was a day that would live in infamy. My wife was born.
Oh.
So happy birthday, Shannon. I know
happy
you're not
birthday,
listening,
Shannon.
but
You waited this long to
other
tell
people
us?
are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a November baby as well, so I got to wait till the end of the month. My birthday's on Thanksgiving this year.
What?
Yeah.
That's why we give thanks.
Yeah,
That's why
this
we
year.
give thanks.
Yes, indeed.
We brought
November
you
28th.
presents for your birthday. Did you open them up?
Not yet. I'm going to wait till Thanksgiving. It's going to
Okay.
be a big day, Thanksgiving. So there you go.
My brother gave you a present.
I should mention that. Okay,
Right.
this see. Okay, so
Here, real quick. Oh, where you at?
I don't wear hats during the week, but I am hat guy on the weekend. And so for the past several weeks, I was wearing my Toronto Maple Leafs hat, hockey fan, of course. And your brother Dave, who's a hockey coach from Detroit, noticed the hat on Facebook and said, "Hey, what's up with that hat?" And I said, I'm not really a fan of the Maple Leafs, but I do like them because original 6 teams, and I thought it was a cool hat. And so his response was, "We're going to take care of that." So this morning, John brings a bag in, Detroit Red Wings. So if you want to send me
They were one
a
of the
hat,
original teams, too,
they
right?
were. Let's see. We got the New York Rangers, the Montreal Canadiens,
Blackhawks,
Toronto Maple Leafs, Blackhawks, Boston Bruins. What did I leave out?
Not the Ducks?
Ducks.
Anaheim Ducks were not there? Really?
Anyway, we are talking gardening. But anyway, Dave, thanks for the hat. I'm wearing it proud. So there you go. That's the whole deal
Looks
there.
good on you. I'm watching you on Facebook. It looks good.
Yeah.
I like the delay on Facebook because we do it and then we watch it back, right?
Yeah. You're kind of like a football player when they're looking up at the big screen after they made a play.
Yeah, you go, whoa, yeah, no. After the
Yeah,
touchdown,
exactly.
you catch them looking up, exactly. So anyway, thank you, Dave Bagnasco, who will be with us in Europe. I'll have to bring this hat with me.
There you go.
Oh.
To our big trip. What you got, John? Looks like
Well, I'm looking at Facebook, and every now and then I get something that I don't quite understand, and it makes me nervous.
You mean I know?
Yeah.
I know.
Patty commented, I know.
Oh, but
so
she
is
didn't
it
reference
is
what
it,
she knows?
I know.
or I know.
I know.
How do you take that?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure what it was referring
Was our
to.
audio on?
Hey, we should quickly tell people
Yeah.
we're going to wrap up our series, our podcast on.
Oh, yeah.
Today's going to be what again?
Yeah, today we're going to be. So we've been talking a lot about irrigation.
Ooh,
so
I
today
can't do it today.
we're
It's
going
Wayne's
to be
birthday.
wrapping up with valves, talking about the different valves that you need to use to be able to have the irrigation system running.
Okay, that's our podcast immediately
Wow.
following this show. So stay tuned for that. And again, all of our shows, our podcasts are right there on Facebook. And of course, we do post them on YouTube. We upload them on YouTube. So go to Garden American Radio Show on YouTube. Subscribe. We got to get to 1,000 people. We're not there yet. So subscribe and watch anything you want on your time. You can fast forward, rewind, skip the commercials, whatever. YouTube, Garden America Radio.
Patty's, I know, referred to Shannon.
So that's nice. Good for
About
her.
Shannon.
So what are you going to do for
Patty
Shannon?
went to Italy with us. Do you remember that?
Absolutely. We hung out together.
Yeah, what are you guys going to do
That was a
today?
good
What
trip.
are you going to do today for the birthday, John?
Take her to the
Well, I
LA
think
Arboretum.
what she wanted to do for her birthday was go to brunch at the Grand Tradition.
Oh, I
in
love the
Fallbrook.
Grand Tradition.
So I think we might do that tomorrow, maybe
Yeah.
after church or something, get the whole family to go over there.
Now, you say that like everybody, right? The kids, the grandkids,
I'm not sure about the grandkids, but I think
and this is an adult thing?
So
well,
are you disinviting
I'm
Gina
just
right
not sure
now?
my daughter's going to go.
How does it feel to have kids in their 50s?
Because I think first of all, I don't have kids in their 50s.
John's not that old. Not that old.
But I could have kids in their 50s.
Well, if you started at 16.
I started at 20. I would have kids in their 50s.
Interesting. Look at Patty. She says, 2015 Italy.
Yeah.
That was a great trip. That was
it 2015? God,
yes.
that was only 4 years ago?
That was Colette Travel. The next year was Matthew. That's the first time because he hooked us up with who was our French guy? The guy that led the
Thibaut.
Thibaut. That's right, Thibaut.
Yeah, he was great. He
This
did
guy,
a really good job.
History, knew everything.
You know, traveling with Earthbound Expeditions, I think one of the best things that they do is set up the tour guide leaders in each country that we go to.
Yeah, they do a great
really
job.
know the area. You'll learn so much. It's not just the opportunity to go with us, and that would be worth it.
It's a history
just for
lesson.
that.
The history is incredible.
Right. I'm going just because you and Tiger are going. And I learned so much from you guys.
Well, I'm going because I didn't go to England with you guys, and I've never been to Europe with Tiger.
Yay.
That's why I'm going. But I don't know why he wants to bunk with me. I'm going to find out
You'll
later.
find out.
Okay.
You'll find out.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's show. We've got our podcast following immediately if you want to stick around for that here on Facebook. We'll take a few minutes to wrap up. If John wants to leave and celebrate his wife's birthday, that's okay. And again, we're going to continue and finish up our series, drip irrigation today, valves, all those things if you're into that. So thank you for tuning into the show. Again, we are back next week at the same time, Facebook Live and Biz Talk Radio. Thank you so much for being with us. And remember, as we always say at the end of each show, get growing America. For Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main. Have a good one. Our podcast is next right here on Facebook.